you drowning in scraps? Can't bear to throw things away? Well, in this series I'm sharing ideas to help you use your stash to create journals, ephemera, cards and more.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Scrap Busting Sunday. Now this is a follow-on from last week's video actually, and it's the project I've been working on this week, so I will link the first part below. And what I've been doing this week is using up all my gel print scraps and turning this little board book into an art book or a collage book, whatever you'd like to call it. And in my video last week I showed you myself doing a couple of pages, I think probably those first 3 or 4. And what I've been doing this week, because I ran out of time in the video last week, so what I've been doing this week, I've finished the rest of the pages, and some of them I have gone on to the next stage, and that is to add some little quotes and to finish them off. But what I've done is I've saved a couple of pages, this lovely pink one here and the bright green one, and I'm going to show you how I've been finishing them off by adding, as you can see here, adding in some mark making, and I've also chosen to add some little sentiments, and this one's even got a couple of little stickers added in as well. And this is really all about personal choice, and there are a couple of these pages that I've looked at and thought, actually I don't know that really needs too much else at all. And there are some, like this one, I've done quite a lot of mark making on. So I'm going to be showing you what I've been doing or how I've been doing that. This was one of the ones I did minimal on. I've added in a few little white bits here, a couple of bits of gold just to highlight that flower. But that's quite a busy page on its own, so there are some I haven't done too much to. All right, the other thing you will notice is that I've finished off the cover. Now last week I showed you how I'd put a cotton, I'd replaced the spine with cotton, and that's still there, but what I've done, rather than wrap, because you'll see the front and the back of the book, I've used a solid piece of gel print rather than collaging, but rather than wrapping that the whole way around, I chose to use a little bit of fabric, and this is just, it came to hand actually, it's actually a little bit of lining from a skirt that I took apart and made something else with. And so I attached that in exactly the same way as I did the cotton last week. So I've just overlaid the cotton, stuck it down, and then I've glued the gel print over the top. And the reason I've done that is that it gives me a little bit more flexibility. You're not going to have your gel print cracking and breaking as you open and close the book. And as you can see, before I stuck the gel print down on the front, I used a little bit of the same fabric back and front just to make a closure so that we can tie this up and keep it closed. Now again, you don't have to do this, you can make a closure in any way that you like, but I quite liked this. I liked the fact that it matched the spine. Now the other thing you will notice is that I have coloured the edge of my pages, and I was doing this the other evening and it was a little bit dark, and I think I need to come back in. There are still a few bits on here that that I've missed. Now I did this with a pen. You could use an ink pad or whatever you have. So I need to do a little bit more on those. You don't have to colour the edges of your book if you don't want to. I felt it sort of gave quite a nice, because you just get to see a tiny bit of it. And in fact in some places it bled a little bit for some reason. I quite like that effect. All right, so let's have a look through. Before we do, I'll show you the materials I've been using to add to my pages. So for me, I've been using these, which are alcohol markers, so alcohol based ink, and I've got these which are metallic pens, but they're more like an acrylic paint pen type effect. And then I have sort of a selection here. I've got a white paint pen, I've got a Posca, a couple of Sharpies, some sort of other silver and gold, and then I've got a white and a gold gel pen. But this is really about using what you have, and you can add to your gel print collage pages in any way you like. If you want to add some stencils, you can do. And if you have a look here, you will see just here I did add a stencil with some ink, and it was the same one that was here, and I just wanted to get a bit of that repeating pattern. So the other thing I've done, if I show you this page, so this is my white gel pen. I've highlighted some of the prints on the page, and then I've added some other mark making in as well. And these dots are from the white, my white paint marker. Here again, I've used, I think I used the gold one of these. And again, I've just chosen to pick up some of the areas from one of the gel prints, and I've also highlighted the circle here and just the outside of the sunflower. And again, I'm just picking up on the colours that are already in the gel prints there. Now, and I've chosen to add in some little sentiments. I have this pack of sentiments. What I've been doing, I decided that I wanted this to be a little bit of a motivational, what's the word I can use? I struggle with my mental health on occasions, and this is more for me to flick through. It's a little reminder, and it's about it's motivational. I think that's the best word. So on the front you will see it's all great things have small beginnings, and I also thought that was relevant in that, you know, this has been made from scraps basically, but I really love it. For me it's turned into a really a lovely book that's enjoyable to look through. But again, you know, we have today is full of possibilities, and all I've done with these, if you have alcohol markers, they're quite they can be quite transparent, and so all I've done is coloured the white. You can see I was trying out some different colours here to see what they would look like. Just coloured the little sentiments before I've put them onto the page so that they blend in. I've added a couple of stickers in here just because I had them and they were on my desk and they looked nice. And again, this one, I picked up that there were these black lines in this part of the gel print here, and there was no other black on the page. And so what I've done is just, I think that was with my Posca, I've added in some lines just to sort of mirror and reflect that. And then I've used my white paint marker, and I've just picked up some, again, I was picking up the print from these ones, and I've just added in some little squares. Now this one I felt was quite busy, and I really haven't done anything much at all. I've used a gold gel pen, and I've highlighted a couple of these triangles or diamond shapes. I haven't done anything else, and I'm thinking about that. I may come back in and add a little more to that one later on today, but I haven't done too much else at the moment. This one again I felt was really busy. I've used my gold pen and I've picked up these geometric shapes and added a sentiment. Other than that, I haven't done a lot. Now these are the two that I've left that I'm going to do and show you the process today. But this one, I've added in some white with the gel pen here, and the sentiment, yeah, there's a little bit more white, but again, quite busy, didn't feel it needed a lot. And this one, yeah, you can see I've come in with the black Posca pen here, and I'm not sure that I actually like that as much as I thought I was going to, but that's okay. But this one, if you remember from last week, After I bought my board book from the charity shop and was just sewing it, I discovered that there were some little flip flap doors and things in it. Most of them I've covered up, but I thought, oh, I'll leave this one on the last page. And so this one, there we go. We have a picture of the beautiful lady in here, and it says believe in yourself. And I thought that was quite a nice sentiment just to finish off with. Now I'm noticing a little bit of white here, so I might come in with my gold pen and just cover that up. The inside of this and the door I painted with gold acrylic paint before adding the image and the sentiment. Okay, so let's flip back. We've got these 2 pages to work on to finish off this book today, and I'm going to just step you through the process I use. As I say, you can add and embellish at this stage however you like, whatever is pleasing for you. You might want to get stamps and stamp on it, you might want to use your stencils, you might just want to do a bit of mark making. And as I say, you may look at some pages and go, you know what, that's okay. Now when I look at this page, what jumps out at me immediately is this bit here, and then maybe these bits as wanting to put something else on there. And I think I'm going to pick up some of the maybe the white and silver colours in this one. So I'm going to come in first with my white gel pen. And I don't know whether you can see there are some lines on here from a stencil. So I'm just going to pick those up and follow them with the gel pen. And for me, when I'm doing this, I'm just looking at those areas where I feel that it might benefit from a little bit more detail, or I'm wanting to tie it in with another sort of pattern that's on the page. So you can see here again, although this is a different gel print, I think that might have been the same stencil. So I'm going to again just highlight those shapes. And you can take those patterns on beyond the gel print that's there if you want to. Again, I've got another little bit down here which I'm going to do the same thing. It's not going to show as much because it's sort of white on white, but that's okay. One of the things I do find when I'm doing this is sometimes it's knowing how much to do and how much to leave. And as you can see here, I'm adding in, and it's almost like picking up those repeating patterns. Okay, I want to, actually there's a little bit more there that I might just capture. Now, my white paint marker is a little bit temperamental. So for me, I think that's enough. It's just picked up a few details. It's, you know, added some interest in areas which were a little bit plain. And I'm going to look for a sentiment now to go on there. And we'll finish that page off. Okay, so I've chosen this sentiment and I've tested my pen. I think this is going to be light enough just to make this so that it blends in with the background a little bit more. There we go. And of course I can peel that off my silicone mat. Now, because they're sticking onto a surface that's covered in matte gel medium, I have been adding just a little bit of glue to these. I think I'm going to slide it along there. There we go. Look. All right, last page. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I meant by using a stencil, and this, I'm pretty sure, is the same stencil that I used for this gel print here. And what I'm going to do, this piece that's quite plain, I'm going to come in with some dark green ink pad and a little one of these brushes, and I'm just going to choose which bits of the stencil I want, and I'm just going to add in some more detail here. You see, that's just given a little bit more detail to this piece, which was quite plain. And by doing this, you know, don't be afraid of using up some of those plainer pieces of gel prints that you have that you know, you might not otherwise use. All right, so I wanted to show you that. Now, what else do we want to add into here? I feel like this page in particular needs something to lift it. So I might try a little bit of gold, I think. We'll come in and highlight some of these leaves. How's that going to show? Okay. That's just adding a little bit of something, and it's picking up some of the lighter yellow tones in here. All right, as I said, I said I might come back to this page, and what I've thought of is I've got these little script stamps here, and I'm going to just again, using that same dark green ink that I was using just now, I'm going to add in and just see if I can add in a little bit of script to some of these lighter areas. Now, I'm not wanting it to look like a square stamp, which is one of the reasons I don't have it on a block. I'm just going to press in certain areas there. That's just adding a little bit of something. I think that's just for me taking away that sort of too bright plain. Now, this is an archival pigment ink, which means that it will stamp over the top of areas which have been sealed with matte gel medium. Some of the other inks may not, you know, but try, see, use what you've got. Sort of says it's not about going out and buying new things. This is about using what you have. And again, you remember when I said to you sometimes it's hard to know when to stop? I think I need to stop before I go the other way and get too much. I'm just going to put a tiny little bit more just there. There we go. I think that's just added a little bit of something else in for me. Let's have a look. Does that need anything else? Maybe a little green sentiment, and then perhaps no, I think I'm going to go a little green sentiment, and then that's it. And I have this one. I'm going to come in with my same alcohol marker and just try and do one sweep because that doesn't get too dark. The other thing I have been mindful of when I'm putting sentiments on is to just avoid the middle there where it opens and closes, because I don't want them coming off, basically. All right, let's have a quick look through. Oh, these first two pages don't have sentiments. And the rest do. Okay, so do I want one? Do you know, I think I'm going to leave that first page that is just so busy that I'm going to leave it, but I am going to pop a sentiment on here, and I think that this little bit here looks like it might need something, so let's All right, now the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just sit here with my black, this is my black Posca pen, and just finish off, now that I've got some daylight, and I'm just going to go around all these edges and fill in any white bits. Now that's going to be incredibly boring, and I'm not going to make you watch me do that, so I'll be back in a moment. Okay, everybody, so I have finished off those edges. Not my favourite job. I don't have an amazing amount of patience for things like that, and I think because my book has scalloped edges, it did take a little bit more work than it might do. But anyway, so we're done. So let's have a little bit of a look through, because let's face it, last week I started off with a battered old baby's board book and a whole pile of gel print scraps. And let's see where we've ended up. Because do you know what? I sometimes find it difficult to say I love what I've done, but I absolutely love this. This is for me. It's made from bits and pieces that otherwise might have been thrown away, and I really feel that it's created something that I can take down off the shelf and have a look through. As I say, I've added some little motivational things for myself in here, but just to have a look at all the colours. And you know, you can use little books like this as a way of trying different layouts or different colour palettes. You know, do these two colours go together? Well, let's try it and see. And if you're just using scraps, you're not wasting anything. You've got it to keep as a reference. And as I say, don't go out and buy new mark making tools or new pens. Use what you have. As you saw with this page and these pens, you know, if you do something and don't like it, don't panic. Just go over it and, you know, add on until you do like it. And above all, believe in yourself. Okay, guys, I hope that's been inspirational for you. As I say, if you missed last week's episode and you want to know how this book was started off, do check out the video that I'll list below. Otherwise, I hope this has inspired you to use up some of your scraps. You don't have to use gel prints. You could, of course, use scraps of paper, magazine, pages, anything you like to collage with. But I've been focusing the last few weeks on using up some of my gel print scraps. So I hope that's inspired you to have a go and bust some of your own scraps. I will be back midweek with a bit of a mystery of whatever's on my desk at the time. And so for now, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you for watching. Ka kite anō.